You're scrolling digital maps of Antarctica, nothing but barren white ice. Then you spot a shadow with perfectly straight 90-degree lines. Look around online and you'll quickly find theories trying to explain these shapes. Some claim they found crashed ships, massive ancient walls, or hidden military bases. As a hiding spot, the Antarctic continent is unmatched. The ice sheet covering the landmass is up to 2 miles thick in some places. It is a massive, impenetrable shield. But if we rule out human construction, we are left with a difficult question. What natural force is capable of creating such perfect, rigid geometry? To find out what is actually buried down there, we have to understand exactly how we are looking at it from space. The mystery begins with a digital illusion. Platforms like Google Earth rely on orbital equipment, like the Landsat satellites, to continuously scan and map the surface of our planet. Look how satellite resolution works. Sensors cannot capture smooth images. They group terrain into massive 30-meter digital patches. This creates a problem. From orbit, a glacier's chaotic edge and exposed bare rock reflect light similarly, registering to the satellite as the identical dark gray color. Mapping software then takes millions of these low-resolution, identically colored 30-meter blocks and attempts to stitch them together into a coherent global map. When the software tries to connect a natural, jagged geological edge between these massive pixels, it struggles. The rendering glitches, snapping those chaotic boundaries into rigid, straight lines on your screen. The perfect geometry sparking endless internet theories is a software artifact. It is an optical illusion born entirely from the physical limits of our mapping technology. That explains the straight lines, but those satellites are still capturing something physical. What massive objects are they glitching over? In 2013, scientists with the British Antarctic Survey released BedMap 2. They compiled 25 million separate data measurements using radio echo sounding and seismic techniques to scan straight through the Antarctic ice sheet. They discovered a completely submerged, alien landscape hiding miles beneath the frozen surface. This hidden topography is immense. The continent rests on colossal mountain ranges, plunging valleys, and enormous basins that rival anything found on dry land. When you spot a mysterious dome or an alleged artificial wall on Google Earth, you are often looking at the jagged peak of a submerged mountain, physically pushing up against the surface of the ice. The geometric anomalies on our screens are pixelated shadows. The physical structures beneath them belong to an awe-inspiring geological reality fighting to break free from the ice. And that ice is not sitting still. Glaciers act as heavy, extremely slow-moving rivers of solid ice. Imagine a trillion-ton ice cube grinding its way overland. The physical force it generates is almost impossible to comprehend. As this mass advances, the slow-moving pressure violently carves the landscape. It shears off rock and ice, shaping them into striking, unnatural-looking vertical faces. Deep within these glaciers, the conditions are extreme. Centuries of intense compression squeeze the tiny air pockets right out of the snow, creating a dense void of glowing, deep blue ice. This is a fiercely hostile environment. It is virtually impossible for a human to hike out into that freezing expanse just to verify what sits beneath a specific 30-meter pixel. Because it remains physically inaccessible, we have to rely on the natural shifting of the ice and the constant watch of orbiting satellites to unmask the continent piece by piece. Science and satellite limits explain the perfect geometry. Yet the massive scale and hostility of Antarctica guarantee a shadow of uncertainty will always remain, leaving us to wonder what hidden geological giant our maps will accidentally unmask next.